I almost quit sports betting yesterday. Let me paint you a picture. So I come home from the gym. Normally, my routine, I'm weird. I go to the gym during my lunch break, do a lot of work in the morning, gym in the noon-ish, afternoonish area. Then I come home, get back to work. I don't stop until the late hours. I decide that I'm going to tune in to the Cardinals Padres game. One of our picks from yesterday's show. It's the eighth inning. The Cardinals have not scored all day. And let me provide some more detail here. Adam Wainwright, the worst pitcher in the entire league, was starting for the Cardinals. Blake Snell, the best pitcher in the league by ERA, was starting for the Padres. The score is only 2-0 at this point in the eighth inning. So already I'm a little on edge, thinking, oh no, my Padres run line, it's right there for the taking. I load up the game. The first pitch that I see is a home run for the Cardinals. The first pitch I see, the Cardinals go yard. The Cardinals, who have scored fewer runs than every team in the league over the last month, it's a moonshot. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, am I the problem? Am I just not meant for this life? But you know what? The Padres, I can't believe I'm saying this because they're so inconsistent and unreliable, but they come through in the ninth inning. They score, I think it was 2 runs. They win that game 4-1. And we ultimately go 4-1 for the day. The only pick we missed yesterday, we had the Nationals +1.5 versus the Blue Jays. They lose that one 6-3. Pretty close game, but the Nationals commit a couple of errors. That ends up being the difference. But you know what? A 4-1 day is really good, and we are setting our sights on doing even better on today's episode of Pick 5, Win 5. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between. Welcome back to my daily betting show, where it is my job to give you my 5 favorite plays in the sports betting world. As I just mentioned, coming off of a 4-1 day, and yes, we have now won in 7 of the last 10 days. Do not let the boys get hot. That's all I'm going to say. Don't let the boys get hot. Winning in 7 out of the last 10, that makes me feel pretty good because we had this awful losing streak that has been well documented. We started the Pick 5, Win 5 super hot. We went super cold, and all of a sudden we are starting to cook once again. And you guys have been there with me through it all, and I appreciate you, and I thank you tremendously. But to those of you who have not been, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. I'm coming out with betting content every single day. I'm in the process of recording betting previews of every NFL matchup in week 1. I've got a full NFL season prediction where I'm looking at futures, win totals, all that great stuff. Obviously, we've got the Pick 5, Win 5 with our 5 favorite bets every single day. There's so much greatness happening on this channel that you guys really should be tuned into it. So do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into today's picks. We're going to start off by singing the hits. We're not coming out with anything new. We're just going with the classics. We're going to go first pick here. Baltimore Orioles -1.5 versus the Chicago White Sox. Dean Kramer on the bump for the Orioles here. He is 12-5 with a 4.31 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. Going against Jesse Scholtens of the White Sox, who is 1-6 with a 4.15 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP. Now, Scholtens has a 5.33 ERA this month, has given up 5 earned runs in back-to-back starts. Meanwhile, Kramer got a 2.59 this month, only given up more than 3 earned runs once in his last 9 starts. And in those 9 starts, his team has won in 8 of them, and they have covered in 6. That's a good little bit of momentum for Kramer and the Orioles. And when we're talking about the Orioles, look, they've been one of the most impressive teams in the league over the course of the season, but they've also been profitable. They are on a stretch of being 18-9 against the spread. So that is just about 2 covers in every 3. Actually, it's exactly 2 covers in every 3. They won the first game of the series yesterday 9-0. We didn't expect the series to be particularly close, and it's certainly starting off that way. Over the last month, the Orioles are 8th in scoring. The White Sox are 24th. Chicago is also only 24-43 on the road, whereas Baltimore is 41-25 at home. Yes, Felix Bautista, the top closer for the Orioles and one of the top closers in the league, is out. He's on the 15-day IL. Apparently got some problems in his UCL. But Yennier Cano has not given up a single earned run this month. He should be able to shut the door if it comes into question late in this game. You can't get me to bet on the Chicago White Sox. There's nothing you can do to have me place a bet on them. So first pick of the show, Orioles -1.5. They are at home, not getting 9 innings of guaranteed offense. but I still trust them here. Second pick, I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not. I'm actually interested specifically to hear you guys' thoughts on this matchup. So drop a comment, let me know. I'm taking the over of 7 runs in the Brewers-Cubs matchup. Now, right away, it's a 7-run line. A lot of people out there have a rule that no matter what's happening, no matter who the pitchers are, which teams there are, you go over on the 7 total. Now, I don't always have that rule, but in this matchup, I think it's a good play. Corbin Burns on the mound for the Brewers here. He is 9-6 with a 3.65 ERA and a 1.08 WHIP. Going against Justin Steele of the Cubs, who's having one hell of a season. He is 14-3 with a 2.80 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP. Now, Burns has a 4.74 ERA this month, has given up 5+ earned runs in 2 of his 4 starts, including 6 earned runs in his last outing. Steele, meanwhile, has a 4.13 this month, and he has not had a shutout in his last 9 games. Now, in none of those 9 games has he given up more than 3 earned runs. So I'm not trying to paint a picture as if he's been bad. But what I am saying is that he is giving up runs pretty much every time that he is on the mound. And when you have a total of 7 runs, if he plays 5-6 innings, gives up 2 or 3 runs, and the Cubs score an equal amount, then we're already almost right at that over. What's also important to note, though, is that both of these teams have top 10 scoring offenses over the last month. Yes, we know the Cubs had that amazing hot streak coming out of the All-Star break, but they're still doing really well at the plate. Meanwhile, the Brewers, this is arguably the best they have seen the ball this entire season. They have won 9 straight games. They have a lot of rhythm and motion at the plate. Looking at their scoring outputs over the last 10 games, the Cubs are averaging 5.7 runs. The Brewers are averaging 6.4. Yes, I know Burns is an excellent pitcher. Yes, I know Steele's an excellent pitcher, having a phenomenal season. But they're both in, not slumps, I don't want to call it that, but their ERAs are over 4 this month, so they are on a bit of a downswing. The offenses are just absolutely red hot. The teams do have top 10 bullpens, both of them. I do want to acknowledge that, but I think the offenses are going to win out. The Cubs have hit the over in 6 of their last 8 games. The Brewers have hit the over in 6 of their last 9 games. Yesterday's game did go under by 1 run, but that was on a total of 9. With the line set at 7, I just can't go under or do anything else here. I'm going to take the over for my second pick of the show. My third pick is going to be, again, maybe controversial now that I look at it. Houston Astros money line versus the Boston Red Sox. So the Astros have scored 39 runs in the last 3 days. Right away, come on. What are we going to do with that? Now, I will say I was going to go Braves -1.5 with this pick. This was a late substitution, but the Braves run line value is -170, and I can't in good conscience tell you guys to bet that. So Astros money line for plus money, that's where we're going here. Brian Bello on the mound for the Sox. He is 10-7 with a 3.56 ERA and a 1.28 WHIP. Going against JP France, who is 9-5 with a 3.51 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP. Now, let me stop you all right here because I know you're screaming at your phone or your television, your laptop, wherever you are right now. I know you are screaming at me. The Red Sox absolutely demolished JP France in his last start. He gave up 10 earned runs in 2 innings. I'm well aware. Of that. That was far and away, not even close, France's worst start of the season. If you take out that game and you look at the 13 starts he had before that, he had a 2.33 ERA. And in addition, this game is being played in Boston. He has a 1.92 ERA on the road. Now, Bello has not been bad either. He's got a 3.26 this month. He gave up 1 earned run in 7 innings against the Astros the last time he saw them. So again, the recent matchup, the last time we saw these teams and the pitchers, it favored the Red Sox. And we all know the Red Sox play better on their home field. So why am I taking the Astros? Well, guys, like I said, they have scored 39 runs in the last 3 days. They scored 13 yesterday. They won 13-4. They scored 17 the game before that. They scored 9 the game before that. It looks like they are furious that the Seattle Mariners are doing what they are doing in the American League West. Now, granted, they can score as many runs as they want. The Mariners are going to have to slip up at one point. But the Astros don't look too keen on letting them increase the gap between them. And also, the Astros, they do really well on the road. The Red Sox have the highest differential between home to away batting average. So yes, you can't expect the Red Sox to play their best brand of baseball in their home stadium in Fenway. But the Astros are 40-27 on the road. They can win games when they're away from their home stadium. And if this thing is remotely close coming down the stretch, Over the last month, the Astros have the seventh best bullpen ERA. The Red Sox are 29th. They are the second worst in the league. JP France is not even going to be as close to as horrible as he was last time. This is a guy that was having an incredible season, a mid-2 ERA. He's got a 351 ERA for the season. It was like a 251 or something until that last start. It will not happen. It was a freak accident. He is going to come out, put together a very solid performance. Now, you may be wondering, why am I not going with the over here? I believe the Astros have hit the over in 11 of their last 13. The Sox have hit the over in 12 straight games. The line is at 10. France, again, he was smoked last time out there. I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to personally accept the challenge. And then Bello, I mean, I think he's there for the taking slightly, but he did go 7 innings, only give up 1 earned run last time against the Astros. So I can't really look at him and say definitively he's going to give up a lot of runs. So I would stay away from the over-under, especially at that 10 line. I'm taking Astros money line for this pick here. My fourth pick, it's one that we're making damn near every show now. Mariners -1.5 versus the Oakland Athletics. The Mariners have won 12 of their last 13 games. They've covered in 22 of their last 30. They're fourth in scoring over the last month. They've got the best bullpen ERA over the last month. They've hit that territory. They've hit that spot where if they're available for fair value, we're taking them. No holds barred, no questions, nothing. We're just going to take them. George Kirby's going to get the start in this one. He is 10-7 with a 3.28 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP. Going against Ken Waldichuk of the Athletics, who is 2-7 with a 6.05 ERA and a 1.67 WHIP. Now, Waldichuk has been playing better lately, but better is still not good. He's got a 4.97 ERA this month. Gave up 5 earned in 5 innings to the White Sox in his last start, which is less than impressive. Meanwhile, Kirby has a 2.60 ERA this month, and like I was just talking about, Seattle has the best bullpen in the league right now. As well as the Mariners covering in 22 of their last 30. The A's have covered just 10 times in their last 26. They lost yesterday 7-0. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. I talk about the Mariners pretty much every single day. I'm taking them on the run line, fourth pick of the show. Let's just go ahead and move on to the fifth and final pick. But before I give it to you guys, make sure that you have done me that favor and smash that subscribe button so you are locked in. You don't want to miss out if we go on another winning streak. I mean, we're already on one, but you don't want to miss out if we continue this. And if we don't continue it, if we start to stink, then you know what? You can leave me some comments. Let me know I stink. Either way, you want to be around for what is to come. My fifth and final pick is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays money line versus the Miami Marlins. Aaron Savali is going to get to start here for the Rays. He is 6-3 with a 2.59 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP. Going against Sandy Alcantara, who is 6-11 with a 4.16 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. Now, Savali hasn't been as excellent as he was with the Guardians pre-trade. In 4 starts with the Rays, he's got a 3.54 ERA. Not that that's bad, but it's not the 2.59 for the season that he has maintained. Alcantara has been better recently. He's got a 3.03 this month, but I will say he's given up 3+ earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. Now, I was going to bat, no pun intended, for Alcantara recently, but I should say I was saying the Cy Young winner is back, and he's got a 2.50 ERA over his last 10 starts, whatever it was at the time. All of that was true, but 3+ earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. Look, the cracks are still there. Hasn't been the same season that it was last year for Alcantara. Over the last 30 days, the Rays have completely broken out of their cold streak, seemingly coinciding with when Wander Franco left the team, which is, a little bit strange considering he was arguably their best offensive player, certainly among the top 3. But ever since he left, they've been hitting the ball really well. They're 6th in scoring over the last 30 days. The Marlins are only 25th. The Marlins are also searching for a new closer. They traded for David Robertson from the Mets. That did not work out. He had like a 7 ERA or something with them. And they ultimately said, we're taking you out. We're finding someone else. So they've still got to replace him adequately. They have not yet done that. The Rays have won 6 of the last 7 games. The Marlins have won just twice in their last 10 outings. This game is being played in Miami, and the Marlins play better on their home field, and the Rays are only 6 games over 500 on the road. That being said, the Rays have won 5 straight road series. So although they're not sweeping teams and they are not totally dominating, they are winning 2 out of 3 consistently, 3 out of 4. I'm going to take them in the spot. They get a win in this one. Let's do the final rundown. To start it off, we go Orioles -1.5 versus the White Sox. Then we've got Brewers-Cubs over 7 runs. Astros money line versus the Red Sox. Mariners -1.5 versus the Athletics. And Rays money line versus the Marlins to close it on out. Guys, please, if you made it this far, subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you did enjoy. Comment, let me know what your favorite plays of the day are. And until next time, I will see you all very soon. Have a great day.